We're alive. It's the main thing. Everybody's alive.
People just don't realize what it'd be like to be in something like this.
May 31st, 1985, 30 years ago this Sunday, one of the worst tornado outbreaks in U.S. history. Over the span of 9 hours, more than 40 tornadoes tore through parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and Canada, nearly half of them here in western Pennsylvania. Of the 89 people killed, 75 were in Pennsylvania. Another 800 Pennsylvanians were hurt. 3 decades later, the physical scars may be gone, but the emotional scars remain.
Paul Martino covered the tornado outbreak 30 years ago, and tonight he takes us back to one town that was leveled.
Albion, Pennsylvania is small-town America. It sits just outside of Edinburgh. Nearly 2,000 people reside on a little more than 1 square mile. And on the last day of May, 1985, the town was leveled by a killer tornado, the worst that's ever hit Pennsylvania.
We lost 12 people, and that's 12 too many in the first place. A lot of homes.
Martha Sherman still has the tattered newspaper clippings from that day. While the photos have faded, the memory of that horrific moment will never fade. Sherman was the Red Cross coordinator who ran a shelter back then for weeks. That's her in the middle of this photo. All the while, she had to hold back her own personal grief. She read us a newspaper account about her painful story.
When I asked, what can we do? Tears of grief filled her eyes. Her daughter-in-law was one of the confirmed fatalities.
That's right. Mrs. Sherman had to serve the community. All the while, she knew her daughter-in-law's body was in a nearby makeshift morgue. It was a horrible death.
She got in her car, and her car was lifted up over a silo. The neighbor who saw that, he suffered terribly. I don't think he ever recovered from that.
Albion's gone.
While Albion's been rebuilt, no one is forgetting that unbelievable day.
Within minutes, our town was gone.
Joanne Catron is a chef at the local diner. She was just 15 years old when she faced death and destruction. She says her life has never been the same.
A part of you just had to grow up fast, I guess. It took a whole new meaning as to life can be cut so short, so fast.
As a young reporter, I was in Albion hours after the tornado struck. I saw things I'd never seen before or since. One of the many memories I have from that day 30 years ago is the Catholic church that stands in the middle of town. St. Lawrence Catholic Church wasn't spared by the devastating tornado, but today, like the rest of Albion, it stands rebuilt and full of faith. This is what St. Lawrence Church looked like on that day 30 years ago, nearly destroyed. But today, it stands as a monument to the resilience of Albion.
I was out there saving lives and taking care of who we could find.
John Yazembiak's an excavator. Within hours of the tornado hitting, John was on a front loader, helping rescuers dig out people and bodies from the ruins. He went at it for 36 hours.
Just going around with the loader, picking up buildings, lumber, trailers, everything, finding people. You could hear them screaming and hollering,
Today, you have to look hard to see the path of that devastating storm. On this street, for example, modular dwellings sit where there used to be quaint homes. But the most obvious sign of what happened here 30 years ago is the pain that folks in Albion still feel today.
I just kept seeing private pieces of people's lives just everywhere. And it sticks with you. You don't ever forget.
30 years later, and the painful memories of that day still haven't faded. Nor has the spirit of the survivors who jumped in and did what they had to do to bring back Albion. In Albion, I'm Paul Martino, KDKA TV News.